Hi, and welcome to the show. My name is Josh Medeiros, political reporter. On the show today, we have Dr. A. Keith Carreiro. How you doing, Mr. Carreiro?
Fine, Josh. How are you?
I'm good. Just want to get to know a little bit more about you. I know you're a candidate running for school committee in town. Can you tell us just a little bit about your background?
I was raised in Swansea. I grew up here in the 50s, and it was a very different world at that point because the neighborhoods were intact. Communities were very, very close. And so I have tremendously fond memories of going to kindergarten at the local church, Christ Church, and then going through first grade, second grade at Luther School, third, fourth, fifth grade at Barney School, and then at Elizabeth Brown, and then at Case High. And I graduated from Case High School in 1966. Then I fled the town and thought that I should go north, young man. And I went to the University of Maine, studied the sciences, and then I fell in love with English. And so I majored in English, minored in art, history, and science. And then I graduated in '71. And I tried to make a living like most normal people do, but unfortunately music was my passion. So I followed my heart and did my music. I was a solo concert classical guitarist for basically 10 years, and I toured throughout North and South America. And I had just amazing experiences, and what really thrilled me was the opportunity to teach people. So I founded the classical guitar department at Bowdoin College in 1973, and that started my real deep interest as an adult in the performing arts and in teaching. So I did that for 10 years, and then I had to stop playing because I had a medical condition that's similar to Parkinson's. It affects your fine motor coordination. So I had to figure out what I wanted to do, and I said teaching. I had a good friend who was saying, go to Harvard, go to Harvard. Actually, he was saying go to Harvard for 10 years, and I finally said, okay, to shut you up, I'm going to apply, thinking that that's not going to happen. You know, so it did, and they accepted me for my master's degree work. So in 1982 to 1983, I studied for my master's degree at Harvard. And then I went, after I received the master's, I went back to teaching, and then the itch to continue the studies, because Harvard was an amazing experience. It was the best formal educational experience I ever had. So I went back for my doctorate, and I studied in a department there at the Graduate School of Education, teaching curriculum in learning environments. And the acronym was TICKLE at the time. But they couldn't figure out what learning environments were because it's a massive word. It means it's too ambiguous. So now they don't have the learning environments. But I was in teaching curriculum in learning environments, and I had absolutely stellar professors. I met people that I would not have ordinarily met. People like Eric Erickson, a psychologist who did his psychosocial behavior about development of a human being. I mean, I met him when he was walking on the streets, and he was very approachable. So we would just talk about how human beings work, how best to use that knowledge in the classroom. So those were just, I mean, I had a philosophy professor who was my advisor in my last 2 years, Israel Scheffler, who was, the knowledge in that man was astounding, and his love of teaching was, I mean, these people were just the way they were, encouraged me. You know, I'm just a person from Swansea. You know, this was unusual for me. So what I did with my research and my graduate work, I was using my music background and work in the arts to try to graft that on to teaching, and to bring into teaching the nature, it's called pedagogy, which means the art and science of teaching, into the mainstream teaching. And about that time, Howard Gardner was working on a similar issue. Gardner is known for his theory on multiple intelligence, that there's more than just math and reading or English, math and English. He's talking about at least 9 intelligences that we should try to teach toward or with or encourage.
So you're passionate for teaching young young people at any different grade level began when you were a younger kid, like the kids that are in the schools in Swansea now.
Right. Well, when I was in this high school, I belonged to the Future Teachers Club of America.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know it then. I didn't know what impact that would have. So it's somewhat ironic that I thought what was just an interesting club ended up being, something that I'm very passionate about. Mm-hmm. And it's not just teaching young people. I found it fascinating to try to understand the whole gamut of the educational institution, from pre-K all the way up to postdoc.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a lot of work with doctoral students.
So now, with the background of with a passion for learning and teaching people at all different levels, what in such tough economic times, what makes you want to run for a school committee in the town?
It's a good question, and it's interesting because there's two parts to that. The second being tough economic times. It's just a coincidence to me that I'm running during tough economic times.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like an ante. It's even more important for me that I do this.
Mm-hmm.
But my original plan was to study some more the nature of the educational critter in this area, to understand how people are getting educated or not getting educated, what the school systems are like, what the colleges are like. Since 2005, I've been at BCC, and I was there in 2005, 2006, and I taught in Fall River. Mm-hmm. So I got to see what the main campus was like. And now I'm primarily in Attleboro, where I'm doing evening coordinator 2 nights a week. I'm the coordinator of the writing lab and one of 2 tutors there. I'm doing academic advising, and I'm teaching 4 classes, humanities and English and philosophy.